Welcome to the sanctuary. I'm Kyle, and I'm here to tell you, never be afraid to step into the pleasure den of the absurd. This is a special shout-out video. Totally unexpected, and it's a very happy video. I would, if I do say so myself. So, let me just preface it with this. Earlier this year, my friend had to sell his childhood home, and so they were, packing stuff up, getting rid of stuff, and so there was a record collection there, and everybody took what they wanted beforehand, and it was still sizable, and he allowed me and another buddy to go through it and take what we wanted. So I did, So fast forward to just a couple of days ago, probably, the end of July. And I turn on YouTube and, I like to watch other people's channels, part of the vinyl community and things like that, and but on the main page, where you get the recommended videos and stuff like that, I see this this picture of a lovely woman, and she's the title of her video is the 10. I'll tell you right now exactly what it was. It says the top 10 records I listen to the most, right? So, here's this lovely lady. She's got all these records behind her. So I'm like, oh, let me check this out, because I love to hear what people got to say, and so I'm like, wow, and so I think the first record she held up was Thelonious Monk, and I'm like, wow, So I'm like, she's holding up this stuff, and I'm like, wow, I wish I had that. And, and just as a side note, when I watch all these other people's videos, and I was inspired by several YouTubers, after watching their channels, I'm like, man, I want in on the fun. I want to start my own, talk about the stuff that I have. And I realize, like, when I watch all these people's videos, man, I'm like, man, my collection is like pales in comparison to theirs, as does my knowledge. I'll give special shout outs at the end, but Melinda Murphy, I want to make sure I get that name right. She did this video of the top 10, most played albums in the collection. And, she's telling stories about it. She held up this one K-Tel collection called Gold Rush 79. And she had this nice sentimental story about why she plays it the most. And it was something that she had listened to as a child. And, we've all been there, And so, thus, as it was, and I'm like, wow, I could relate to the story, and when she held up the album cover, I was like, hey, that looks familiar. I think I have that. And sure enough, it was one of the albums that I picked out from my friend's collection at his house. And so, but here's the thing, Melinda, this is the answer to your question. She held up her album, and she noted that it said Volume 1. And she said that, and I'll paraphrase, like, I never found out if there was actually a Volume 2 ever made. So when I pulled out mine says 2 LP set. And I was like, oh my God, man. So So I just had to, I wanted to use YouTube to, tell Melinda that, like, wow, I have that album too. And not only that, I think I have an answer to your question. And I just thought that was a nice thing. So I want to show this to you. This is the cover here. And so hers said Volume 1 right here, where this one says 2 LP set. So it's a gatefold. And here's the inner gatefold. And they're highlighting other albums in the K-Tel collection. And that's what the... this is what they were selling back then. Pretty neat, huh? So I'm hoping that you can read this here to really further answer your question. So it just says record 1. It doesn't say volume 1 or volume 2. And there's side 1 and side 2. To me, it looks a little blurry, but then again, I need new glasses. So, here is record 2. And hopefully you can, like, freeze frame it, screenshot it. Here's what the back looks like. And I just thought it would be kind of nice to show this. So again, Melinda Murphy, we have the same record. And here's an epilogue, if you will, that I hope you will enjoy. Especially you, Melinda, because this record means so much to you. So just last night, I had a friend visit here with me in the sanctuary, a dear old friend, and while she was here, I asked her, what do you want to hear? And she's like, well, I think we went through this the last time I was here. I made all these suggestions and you didn't have anything that I suggested. So I'm like, oh boy. So I'm like, let me I grabbed this. And I put it on and we were having a nice conversation, a lovely time. And then after a while, she's like, I know this song. And so we were listening to actually to record 2. And she's like, I know all these songs, and she's just a couple of years younger than me, and she's like, my older siblings used to listen to all this stuff, and she was singing along with every song that came on this album. So I just wanted to tell you, I thought it was a happy story, and I hope that you're happy that that someone else appreciates this just as much as you do for almost the same reasons. And that's what the sanctuary here is all about. And I told her last night, a lot of the things I have in my collection, which sometimes I think is more of as a library. It's more of a library in a way. It's not for me. It's for the people that come and visit. And I've had reaction after reaction, the same thing as I did last night with this album. I put stuff on, and it just brings back happy memories, and all this stuff. And that's what this place is for. And with that, Melinda Murphy, I hope that you appreciate the shout out. I thought it was a happy thing to do, and you know, I'm humbled when I see all these other channels, especially the guys that got me interested in seeing their channels, you know, in the starting mine. And there's 4 of them in particular: Bill Camarada of Bill's Box of Sound, Ralph Vieira of Almost Human, Shaggy the Opinionated Hippie, and my good friend Pete Chiarella, 42nd Street Pete of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse. You humble me every day, and I appreciate all your work. And Melinda, you got a new subscriber. And with that, I hope you're all happy, you know, and especially in these times, we all need a little unity and happiness, and I wish it upon you all. With that, I want to thank you for watching, and never be afraid to step into the pleasure den of the absurd. Good night, everybody.